Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the TheDannySaur alongside of Cha0s, bringing you 440 gaming against Zeez. This is game number 4 with 440 holding a 2-1 advantage and spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Foxtrot Labs. We have 440's Dinkleberg.
And spawning in the upper right-hand corner in the green trunks, representing Team Rip Zeez, he is Jowj.
I can say YOLOswagger. It's not like it's way out of the ordinary, but I just thought it'd be really fun to say Dinkleberg in the intro.
Dinkleberg.
So I kind of had to keep it, going up until then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I gotta say the Rip Zeez logo, I'm not sure I get it. It's like a coat of arms type deal with a donkey rearing up a little bit.
Is it a donkey or is it just like a cool reindeer without the horns?
Okay, could be a reindeer.
Well, it's got like red. It's got like red hooves.
Yeah, this is true.
I don't know.
I need a further explanation. So somebody in chat needs to give me the download.
Yeah. Oh, I just. Yep, we're all right. YOLOswagger, he's getting out of there. I just realized that 440's upset because they actually didn't think I was gonna say YOLOswagger the whole cast, which would have been funny, but come on, give me a little credit. I already did, and now the game begins. The cat and mouse of this probe running in circles and this drone bouncing back and forth. YOLOswagger avoiding pretty well, and all right, blocked for just a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, usually you like denying that until about the 3-minute mark, but sometimes you only get as lucky as you get. Yeah,
and oh man, look at this YOLO probe right now, just zapping everything, like zero health.
It's like I'm gonna freaking zap you, man. I'm gonna get you. Actually, he's gotta be careful.
Yeah, only losing shields. He's fine.
Yep, kinda. Oh, and there's the links.
Yep, and my day is ruined.
And peace out.
I love how we went to the corner, like that little tiny. I like that a lot. Yeah. Well played.
So this map's kind of interesting. Definitely more difficult for a significant amount more difficult for our Protoss player. Just a huge area to deal with. Early pressure is going to be kind of the key thing. If he can kind of hold off his opponent for a good portion of the time, he'll be okay. But
these 4 lings are gonna harass this pylon tremendously. And can he kill that pylon? I mean, because that would really mess him up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, granted, obviously Mothership Core is there, going to be able to get some damage done. We are warping in a Stalker now, so he should be able to defend this relatively okay. Granted, the likelihood of a probe maybe getting focused is pretty high.
Yep.
He's thinking about it. Then again, maybe not. Okay.
Oh, I thought he's like, all right.
Seen enough. Done the damage I need to. Time to go home. I mean, he got all of 50. No, I mean the shield's already regens.
Yeah.
So no damage done. Awesome.
Well, I mean, I thought it would be a cool idea if he just focused and was like, no, screw this pylon. Yeah.
So yeah. So far pretty stock stuff. Granted, we do have a probe already moving out on the field for YOLOswagger as he is getting things going now. Actually, this could be like a 2 or 3 gate push.
Yeah, it depends. What's he gonna throw here? Is it a proxy building? The positioning is kind of important in terms of where exactly he's going to put it.
Yeah. Obviously, Warp Gate is just now finishing up. 2 more gateways are going to be on the way. This Overlord desperately trying to get in here to get a little bit more scouting done. He did see the Sentry come out, but he didn't see. Other than that, he didn't really see a whole lot. So YOLOswagger getting out this proxy pylon so early is going to be really good for him.
Yeah. And that Stalker is going to be A-okay. And he has to see. What does he? So he sees that coming across him. I mean, he built a Stargate back at home, so it's not a proxy Stargate by any means, and he's going to warp in a couple things. We'll see here what exactly he wants to do. Obviously wants this to be a surprise, and it looks like he's going to try to lay a little bit of pressure to this third base. And he did leave that sentry at home, but these Lings are going to find him, but he already has a decent force there. Those Lings are not going to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, still don't have any +1 on the way, which would have been a nice little addition to this nice hit. Granted, a couple Stalkers are going to go ahead and get focus down. Both of them will go down.
Oh, that's a big-time win for Jowj for shutting this down. Those Stalkers in the back are so good just to kind of sit there and deal damage. Not having those Zealots out in front, trapping those against the wall was very, very good. Looks like he will have an Oracle come across, and I wonder if he's going to maybe try to thin out these Lings with that Oracle if it ends up coming across, or if he's just going to go for drones. We'll see here. Jowj is well aware, so he's not going to put anything too terribly important down at this third base, but this is, again, kind of like what we saw in one of the previous games. If you're going to do this pressure, you definitely want to get something done. And it looks like, no, this Oracle is going to go around, so we will follow that.
I think, honestly, this is actually really, really nicely done, because obviously the Stargate wasn't actually scouted, so the Spore Crawlers are just now going down. Now, granted, YOLOswagger still hasn't moved in with his Oracle. He really needs to start thinking about that. Lings are trying to get a good surround. Sports Field's going down. Will it be enough? Looks like the Lings are going to just barely get cleaned up. Will this be enough? And unfortunately, this Oracle was not being microed at all. So, yes, the rest of this army is going to get cleaned up, but he's lost all potential to get anything done with his Oracle.
Yeah, well, actually, give huge credit to Jowj. It showed he pulled every single one of his drones before the Oracle even got there. Something tipped him off. I think it might have run by this Overlord's vision, but he had literally pulled everything off while that Spore Crawler was being made. So, huge move by Jowj there. He wasn't going to take damage from that, even with perfect micro from YOLOswagger. So, he just saw it coming in, and now YOLOswagger again is going to posture up and see what he can get done here.
Yeah, looks like he is going to continue on warping in stuff. Melee and Carapace are finishing up here, so that'll be a nice little added bonus for him. Another Spore Crawler going to be coming out, and obviously with no really real anti-air, this Mothership Core is just going to sit here and pick at the hatchery.
Yeah, free damage.
Is this really going to happen? I mean, there's really no reaction, and there's not a whole lot he can do.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna kill the hatchery. I mean, it's not even a third of the way down on health. Maybe it can do a little something here, but I just don't think he's too worried about it. He's got a big force coming in. More important is what's going on there, and a smart recall.
Yeah, didn't lose a whole lot in general, and I think overall did a pretty good job. Granted, Jowj is actually doing really, really good in supply. He's up 20 supply over his opponent, which is going to be very, very helpful. And yeah, just in general, it does look like YOLOswagger is thinking about taking a ninja base over here, as he's already got his probe just kind of postured over there.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pull up that cannon to deal with that Zergling, so, yeah, can't quite get at that, and there is the Observer, so, hey, okay, and Jowj just kind of scouting around, seeing. Oh, and looks like chat wants to know our league, what league we are in, Chaos, because that is of utmost importance to casting.
Yeah, of course. So... honestly, I haven't been playing a whole lot of 1v1s this season. I know last season I was mid-diamond. This season I'm like, I don't know, probably mid-platinum right now, just because I haven't played in forever. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I
haven't played in so long. And, ooh, can he get this hatchery? It does not quite look like... No, he won't. Yeah, and so meanwhile, I mean, Jowj is positioning really, really well here. If he tears in here, that robotics bay, if he can just pick that off, that's going to set him back huge, and he will, and all these Lings streaming in are going to get a decent number of probes, and these roaches may die, and I was going to say, you got to commit to getting that robo bay if you're going to attack it, and he will.
I mean, granted, one Colossus will go ahead and finish up here. Man, I gotta say, YOLOswagger, his army composition's like very diverse. You know, rounding out with Colossus and the Void Ray at this point. So, oh my gosh, 13 health on that hatchery. It's going down. And yeah, looks like we're going to be seeing some locusts.
Yes. So many of those, and oh, these poor zealots trying to rip through the cocoons. Silly zealots, you can't do that. It'll never happen. So yeah, now swarm hosts are going to be out. And yeah, I mean, YOLOswagger putting that, I mean, getting that robotics pay is a huge, huge deal. Basically, especially when you're working for, you know, locusts, and now your opponent's just not going to have more than that one colossi, that they wait for all that build time, and now they can start another one. So it's a huge delay. I mean, to get one colossi, you're looking at about, you know, roughly a 3-minute-ish investment in game time. So that pushes them really far back. And YOLOswagger, I think it's going to be really tough to push into these locusts.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, you're also mitigating him having thermal lance out as well.
Correct.
So, I mean, that in itself is a big win, just because thermal lance is really kind of what you need in order to deal with those locusts adequately. I mean, not being able to have that range and having the potential for those locusts to attack your army, just, you know, free units basically for your opponent.
Yeah, and he definitely sees all these locusts, and so he's like, all right, now we got to deal with this. Here we go. And so definitely not something that he's going to be excited about. Most Protoss players, I think Swarm Host might be one of the most hated units in the game, just because it brings such a different flavor to the game. It really changes the way that you have to engage and really dominates the map.
Yeah. So, let's see. Lots of Lings going to be streaming across here, and actually going to potentially get in here and get some damage done. There's a lot of surface area on these buildings, so you could probably sit here for a while. YOLOswagger trying to posture back, and it looks like one of the pylons will go down, so it's definitely going to have to rebuild that, get that wall back up to snuff. I was really surprised he didn't put any cannons behind that. I mean, it's like, come on, just maybe 1 or 2 cannons, and that pretty much minimizes the ability for his opponent to really get in there.
Yeah, Jowj now harassing this 4th base, which is certainly going to go down. The army just will not be able to get there fast enough. I love this one ninjaling just out of range of this observer, just barely hanging out there right below the rocks. He's such a sneaky little guy.
Yep. So, 4th base is going to be trying to go down once again. Meanwhile, it does look like Jowj's 4th base is already up and running, starting to get up some stack defenses behind that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him to go ahead as well relatively soon there at that left position next to his natural. But yeah, we're kind of at a stabilized position. Jowj is looking really good. Obviously, he's kind of throwing away Lings here and there just to get as much damage done as possible. But yeah, with tons of corruptors out.
Yeah.
We've got adrenal gland. I mean,
I was just going to say 12 corruptors. 12 corruptors before your opponent even has, 3 colossi. Is just, he's one step ahead at this point, and that's kind of the perfect position Zerg can be in, is if you kind of, you want to be working towards kind of the next major tech path that you want to go on. So he's already got corruptors, so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to be fine against colossi and things. So now he can automatically, I mean, look at all the upgrades that he's going to try to get here. He's just going to try to round absolutely everything out, and he's going into Ultralisks. So say, all right, once I take out, most of your army now, Ultralisks will definitely be good late game. And bunching those up and looking like maybe he'll just sack them. That's a lot of damage to those corruptors, but it allows the Lings to kind of get in underneath, and now the Locust coming through. Not sure. I'll kind of give it to him though, because he got almost all. He's gonna get all the Colossus.
Just barely not. 8 health on that last Colossus, and the rest of things are gonna get cleaned up here now. Overall, obviously the trade was a little bit more in favor of YOLOswagger, but obviously Jowj's supply is still pretty halfway decent, as he is, a lot of those attacking units were locusts and lings, so most of that supply was big warp in coming down here.
Yeah, can he swing around?
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try. There's still a handful of spine crawlers and lings popping out here, so should hopefully get cleaned up.
Oh, unfortunately, kind of all the Zealots got pulled over with those Lings, and he's going to try to whittle this base down. And look at the bank that our Protoss player had. Earlier, he had about 2,000, 1,500-ish, or 1,000 gas or so. Usually, that's something that you see the Zerg player getting at this point. Oh, and I love this. Look at these Dark Templar coming in. There is a Spore Crawler there, but, oh, and around in a couple places, oh, he gets caught out of position. I thought maybe if he wrapped around to this right side base that he might be able to get something done, but no such luck, as these will get taken out pretty quick. Looks like he's not going to get a whole lot of damage done.
Yep, they're going to get cleaned up, but Locusts are starting to encroach now, getting a little bit closer. He really needs to get the creep spread going. He really
I was just going to comment on that. Perfect.
He really hasn't been focusing on that at all. I mean, we can see there's like maybe 1 or 2 creep tumors out on the field in total. Really needs to start connecting those bases. That's really going to be what is going to help edge him out. Obviously, the Locusts still can't quite extend to any of the buildings of the Protoss player, but it's, you know, he's not in a bad position. I mean, he's, like you said, he's rounded out his army composition. Ultralists are on the way. +3 carapace is also finishing, and I'm pretty sure chitinous plating is already done.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. He's really rounding everything out, and this is allowing the Zerg to really play to the strengths. So when you get to late game and you are a Zerg player, basically you just want to say, all right, well, I want to be okay in every position. So getting upgrades like these flyer attacks, yes, it helps the Corruptors now, but if you want to go into a different tech path, either with mutas or anything else, later on, you're already there and already upgraded. It's really, really nice to be able to have that flexibility. So we'll see here. That may be the tipping point. Jowj is in a great position in that regard. So we'll see. He's going to lose this base, but I think in terms of reactiveness, he really may be able to put a pretty good swing on this game.
Ooh, looks like the Corruptors are going to try and swing in and take out the Mothership Core. They are going to get it at the cost of 1 Overseer, but we also have a small Ling run-by going into the natural here, going to get a fair amount of damage done. Actually, no, it's not a Ling run-by, it's a Ling drop!
Yes, I was going to say, earlier when I commented on all the upgrades, Ventral Sax was one of them, and unfortunately there's just not much here in the main base that he can take out, but it looks like he's going to try anyway. So this is kind of a little bit awkward because we're really in kind of like the maxed out sort of late game, but there's not an insane number of bases in particular here.
Yeah, it's really kind of strange because, I mean, it's kind of creeped up to the late game. We haven't had too many like huge major engagements that are like, you know, completely dire. Just that one with the Corruptors on the left-hand side of the map. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's very obvious that a lot of the mineral lines, the main and naturals, are starting to get thinned out, and even the third bases are starting to get a little bit low on minerals. So that both players are going to be looking to take those expansions, and basically it's just going to be about avoiding or minimizing the amount of expansions that your opponent can get up.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, this base here for Protoss just doesn't seem feasible, especially with these Locusts laying siege right now. Everything's kind of trying to run by here, and yeah, the Locusts are just going to take care of absolutely everything. So this is kind of what the positioning here for Jowj is allowing him to do. He can defend this top base A-OK, and he can also kind of deny this one as well. So that's a really, really nice position for him. I think our Protoss player is going to have to expand to the lower part of the map, and look at that, Jowj already ahead of me, spreading the creep there, just making sure that it takes him a little bit longer. So he's doing a really, really nice job, and now the banks for these two players is really getting big. Oh, and I love this. Sorry, Jowj now taking the gold base right by those swarm hosts. I really, really like this position for him. He's basically denying and protecting a total combination of 3 bases. Excellent positioning here.
Yeah, it looks like meanwhile YOLOswagger going to be moving across the field, going to be putting himself into a position to actually start being a little bit more aggressive. The Locusts are a little bit out of position, and with all of these proxy pylons, he's able to get a ton of Zealots into this 4th base over here on the right-hand side. And actually, I think this right-hand base is actually going to get completely cleaned up now. So a lot of drones were killed, 16 in total, and the numbers just keep on going up.
Yeah, I mean, this is good position in a couple things here, and yeah, these swarm hosts, it's so hard for that Zerg army to fight He has so much invested in the Swarm Host that his army's kind of naked without him, and that's pretty rough. I mean, you look at this Ling Ultralisk force, and that's kind of a good chunk of what he has, and then you've got this just very immobile, slow Swarm Host. Oh, and making a pretty aggressive maneuver here, stepping pretty far forward. He needs to get those down, and he does, and out come the Locusts to lay siege just a little bit, but going to take out a lot of these probes that are transferring, and he is getting quite bold right now with the positioning of these Swarm Hosts, with the majority of his army being on that far right side. Now it looks like he will join them up.
Yeah, now I do want to comment, we do have 25 Mutalisks on the way. Actually, they just popped out, 3 more coming in. Those are going to be really crucial to start getting a lot of harassment done. It actually looks like the entire army is going to be encroaching here. The entire Protoss army is completely balled up. The Muta is trying to get as much damage done as possible, focusing down some of the... oh my gosh, but those Archons just cleaning up.
Yeah, YOLOswagger, man, those Ultralisks came in for a flank, which is normally quite devastating when they're all grouped up like that, but just was not really a problem for him, handling that A-okay. And yeah, this is exactly what I said earlier when I said, that massive tech switch. This is exactly why he got those flyer upgrades and things. Now he's got 03 mutas coming in, and he's got how many 41 mutas now, and you don't want to ball him up against Archons, but I mean, at this point, he's got a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel at this point he just needs to be focusing on getting the harassment done that he needs. Obviously, we've got this base finishing up here, lots of cannons being produced, and it looks like these mutas are just gonna, I'm gonna one-shot everything.
Yeah, I don't even care about those at all.
Yeah, so rest of this base is going to go ahead and get cleaned up, but with no detection here, the Locusts are really not going to be able to do anything and defend this gold base.
Oh no, and the Swarm Host! Oh, they're all... Oh, he's in so deep now. He's going to lose so many of those. Oh, that is really tough. I love the Mothership defense, by the way. Able to take out so many of those Locusts just because the Locusts didn't have any detection nearby. YOLOswagger made a very strong step forward. Jowj's bank is depleted, and all of a sudden, YOLOswagger looking pretty good here.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking to actually get a handful of Broodlords. He actually had to cancel them and then rebuild them just because they were completely out of position. YOLOswagger moving in here, getting lots of damage done, and it does look like he's going to take out this 5th base. So at this point, Jowj is on 2 bases, but they're not even 2 bases.
Yeah, he's on 0 mining. He's getting 160 gas per minute, and that's it. And he's already low, and 1,200 minerals coming in. I mean, at this point, oh, nice fungal growth from out of nowhere here. And he's going to try to take a good engagement, but this is where, if you're the Zerg player, you need to roll with an engagement. Oh, Phoenix! So many Phoenix.
Oh my gosh, where did they come from? I don't know. They're producing 3 at a time, and he's just like, yep, I'm just gonna one-shot you. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, those Archons just tearing through everything. What great play by YOLOswagger. And Jowj goes ahead and GG's out.
Oh my god.
That was some good